This call is now being
All
recorded.
right, so it's already recorded. And by the way, everyone, good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Agricola PH. All right, so I am having trouble sa network connections in my laptop, but in my iPad, okay naman siya. So yeah, we can continue our class discussion as long as you can see the slide and you can hear me loud and clear. Okay, so thank you very much, guys, for still being with me up until now. No, naniwala ako sa kasabihan na ako ay magiging kasama ninyo hanggang makuha ninyo ang lisensya ninyo. Makakasama niyo ako, guys. Yes. Hopefully, no, hindi na mabigat yung animal breeding and genetics sa inyo. Okay? Hopefully, na hindi na siya mabigat yung animal breeding and genetics and you understand the terms, the technicalities of the animal breeding and genetics. So far, for me, animal breeding and genetics is hindi naman siya mahirap as long as na-deliver ng instructor properly yung isang topic. Okay? As long as tama, I mean, hindi naman sa tama, let's say maganda yung deliberation, maganda siya the way niya i-discuss sa inyo, yung bang ine-explain talaga siya furthermore, yung walang ineme-eme, yung ganon. So, that's my technique on how to make it more mag-retain siya sa utak ko. Ayun. So, hopefully ganun din po kayo. Those are just basic animal breeding and genetics. Hindi ako lumalim doon. Hindi ako lumalim talaga masyado. And there are, as you can see, doon sa page, no, um, there are some, what do you call this? There are some students na nagko-comment doon sa one of my video sa animal breeding and genetics part. That's part 2, part 3. I don't think so. Part 2 yata yun. Tapos, nagko-comment sila. And then also, I replied to their comment. And they are correct actually. And siguro hindi lang siguro nila masyadong naintindihan ang explanations and that's why they are commenting on the lecture. But, I already explained my part and my side too. And hope hindi naman natin kailangan talaga lumalim kasi nga sa board exam as long as you know the basic technicalities of the animal breeding genetics, that's enough. Okay? Kasi nga kung masyado kang lumalim para ka lang veterinary, kung gano'n. Right? So, of course, I don't want my student to pahirapan, no? I ko kayo pahirapan to get to difficult I mean, to experience difficulties kasi nga marami pang subjects na aaralin kayo. Hindi lang animal breeding, hindi lang animal genetics, kundi marami pang subjects, no? At saka marami pang topics na kailangan yung aralin. Okay? So, again tonight, our discussion, pagpasensya na niyo if there's a problem on the title slide. But it's okay as long as it's readable, then it's okay. So our discussion for tonight, it'll be slaughter or slaughtering, processing, and marketing of farm animals. So why there's a need for us to um, discuss this. The reason why there's a need for this to discuss kasi nga this is also part of the works as a agriculturist. Okay, as an agriculturist, you need to know more about slaughtering, processing, and marketing farming, especially if you are a livestock inspector, meat inspector. That's a very important, and also agriculturist, agri-tech. Okay, so these are very important things that you need to know. Kasi nga, there are a lot of laws, there are processing, there are procedures that you need to know. Especially no in technicalities sa paggawa ng produkto kasi nga kinakain yan ng mga tao. It is not just FDA who are working on it or the DFA working for the taxes whatever or the customs, but it also affected the agriculture and because we are talking about food. Okay, so that's why we need to know about these things and this one is very broad. Broad po siya. May mga part na lalaliman natin sila because that's still part of agriculture. And I want you to take down notes, maybe not part of your manual. Kasi nga minsan alam naman natin na si Sir bigla-bigla, pag naalala ko kasi during the class, agad-agad natin sinesearch yan para malaman natin kung ano talaga yung mga kailangan. Yon na dagdagan. Okay, so as what you can see, parang gusto natin kumain, right? parang nagugutom na tayo because of the picture that we saw when that we are seeing right now. Kita ko si longganisa, si hotdog, si ham, tapos burger pa na wala na. So gusto na talaga natin kumain, right? Gusto natin maging Pasko na. But always remember, pag Pasko ay mabigat yan din sa bulsa natin, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and continue and proceed to our last discussion for tonight. So we have slaughter, processing, and marketing of farm animals. Okay, let's start first with the meat terms. Why I need to discuss about the meat terms? Kasi maraming lumalabas sa board exam regarding on the terms of the meat, milk, and other terms na very important, especially in processing, in marketing also. No, there are very important terminologies that you need to know. Always remember the slaughter process, slaughtering, processing, and marketing of farm animals. Um, the presentation that I'm viewing right now is it covers how farm animals are turned into food. No, how alternative food, how they slaughter it, how meat and milk are prepared, no, paano siya pinoprocess, ganun, and how they are also sold to market. So, kala ko, so hindi pa natin yung gawain. Oh, hindi, gawain natin yan. That's part of agriculture. Okay? Akala ko po, sir, pag ano lang tayo, magkatay-katay lang tayo, process lang tayo. No! Akala natin si HE or si home economics yung nagpo-process, right? No! That's part of agriculture. Okay? Akala lang natin. Yung minsan na sinasabi natin mga maling akala natin na may tigil-tigilan na natin yan. Mga babae. Sorry. Babae tuloy. Alright, now let's go ahead and proceed for meat terms. First is meat. What do you mean by meat? Meat, the carcass. It is the carcass or carcass parts coming from animals sufficiently mature and healthy. So, ano nakalagay? Pag sinabing meat, sufficiently, is coming from animals and it's sufficiently mature and healthy. When you talk about sufficiently mature and healthy, meaning the flesh of animals fit for human consumption. Okay? Ibig sabihin, yung flesh ng isang animals dapat fit siya for human consumption. Hindi siya nakakalason. Yun, hindi siya nakakalason. Siguro yung maling pagmamahal lang po, yun ang talaga yung nakakalason. Halik, maling halik. Maling halik. Lason mong halik. Yung ganun kanta ba? Ano ba yun? Lason mong halik. Yun. Yun lang siguro nakakalason. Hindi naman yung meat. Alright. So, next we have beef. Beef is a meat from cattle more than, ibig sabihin greater than 1 year old. So, what do you mean by this? Meat, beef, yung veal, cara beef, chebon, chevon pork, mutton, lamb, venison, there are actually specific meats from a different animals. Example, let's say this one, beef. So it is a meat from cattle more than 1 year old. Veal, it is a meat from cattle also but less than 1 year old. So merong greater than 1, merong less than 1, right? So more than 1 year old, merong less than 1 year old. So there are different name of the meat. Why we are doing this, identifying the meat in a different ages. Kasi nga magkaiba yung quality nila. Magkaiba yung quality ng meat. 'Di ba nga sabi nila pag young pa or pag bata pa masarap kasi nga ano pa daw, may gatas pa. Parang ganun, right? Yan sinasabi lagi ng mga matatanda. Pag matanda na daw yung isang meat, makunat na. Right? Makunat na daw ang isang meat pag matanda na. Parang nakaka-relate kayo, Oo, lagi sinasabi. Oo, so, just an example. Kung bakit you are doing like less than 1 year old or more than 1 year old. Yun. Okay? By the way, andito ba si Genrix? Genrix, na-remove ko man yung si Genrix sa sa GC. Kasi hindi ko na siya mapasok ulit. Saan na kaya siya? Yun. And then now, we also have, hinintay ko siya mag-chat kasi hindi ko siya ma-replyan. Next, we have cara beef. Cara beef is a meat from carabaos. Kasi mukhang mukha, mukhang baka. Ka Cara beef, mukhang baka. Meat from carabaos. More than 1 year old. So, isa siyang meat ng carabao that is more than 1 year old. We have also chevon, meat from goats. Okay, from kambing. Chevon. We have also pork, meat from swine. Mutton, meat from sheep. And lamb, meat from lambs. Venison, meat from deers. So what you're going to do, of course, you need to familiarize or memorize this. And then, alam ko naman na-memorize nyo na to eh. Alam ko naman na-memorize nyo na to. Alam ko na alam nyo na yung mga ganito eh. Familiarize nyo na yan. Kasi nga nagsasagot-sagot nga kayo ng mga exams. So hopefully that you are familiar with this. Okay? Baka tatanungin nyo pa ako. Yun. Next is we have meat terms. So there are also terms that you need to know and meat terms. By the way, guys, yung beef, veal, cara beef, chevon, pork, mutton, lamb, venison, again, isa po silang mga specific meats from a different animal. So example, let's say, beef tapa. No? Beef tapa, yung beef tapa in the Philippines comes from cattle po yun. Beef tapa. Right? So yung chevon, chevon is used in caldereta. When made it, actually it's a when made with goat. Yun. So, caldereta, baka lumabas sa board exam, no? Yung mga ganyan. Paano kaya pag lumabas sa board exam, iba yung pag-iisip ng board examiner, nilagay niya doon yung mga pagkain, yung mga cuisine. Oo. Or delicacies, ano ba yan? Saan galing, ganon. Cuisine, bigla ka nga, hindi ko alam yung yung caldereta. Beef ba yan? Ano ba yan? Chevon ba yan? Malay ba natin, right? So that's why I'm explaining it to you guys. But beef tapa ay galing sa cattle and for caldereta is galing sa chevon. Okay? Next is we have hot meat. Mainit na karne. Hot meat is a meat coming from illegal source. Bakit sinabing illegal source? Kasi nga, pag sinabing illegal source meaning illegal slaughter, uninspected slaughter, uninspected source, or they are often unsafe. Okay? So pag ganun, ibig sabihin yung ano lang sila. Oo, pwedeng ganun, galing sa nakaw, tama. Pwedeng galing sa nakaw, pwedeng di natin alam kung paano nila kinatay. Right? Hindi natin alam kung paano nila kinatay. That's why they are hot meat. They are considered as hot meat. In Department of Agriculture, when I was a livestock inspector 1, what I'm doing is that I'm checking on the registration of the carrier. Kung they are allowed or they are authorized to travel mga meat or yung mga live animals. And then if I saw it na pagdating sa market, ano na siya, example na si kinatay siya. Tapos wala siyang hindi siya registered. It's an illegal. It's considered as hot meat already. Oo. Ganun siya ang nangyayari. Marami na akong yun dati. When I was a livestock inspector, marami akong nahuli niyan sa market before. So, yung mga, yes, tama. Walang permit. Importation. It depends kasi, dalawa kasi yan eh. Sa permit, kung walang permit, during the importation, dalawa yan. Not just at meat, hindi lang po siya illegal source. Possible din po kasi na tawag yan, my term din kasi yan eh. I'll look at that. Kasi nga meron may term kaming ginagamit dyan na talaga siya, hindi lang siya hot meat, hindi siya illegal source lang also pag walang permit. Yung bang tinatawag na yun? Sa dulo ng dila ko. Basta madaanan lang natin yan kasi dadaan tayo doon sa marketing. Dadaan tayo doon. Kasi andun yung mga medyo na low. So, madidiscuss natin yan. Okay? So, again, hindi natin alam ba kung saan galing siya. Oo. One of the din yan. Basta walang mga register, walang permit, gano'n. That's part of hot meat or illegal source. Next, we have, again, unsafe or often unsafe or they are also often unsafe siya. Hindi naman sinasabing unsafe siya, but often unsafe. Paminsan safe, minsan hindi. Ganon. Meron din uninspected siya. Hindi natin alam baka hindi nalangaw, ganon, di ba? Next, we have fresh meat. Okay, fresh meat, it is a meat that has not undergone any substantial physical, chemical, and microbiological changes from the time of slaughter. So what do you mean by this? Pag sinabi mong fresh meat, fresh talaga ba like virgin? Ganon. Hindi pa siya as in like nagamitan ng physical changes, ganon, physical, processes, hindi pa siya nagamitan ng mga chemical processes, microbiological processes, ganon. So, during the time na sinaslaughter siya, so that's considered as fresh meat. Okay? So, fresh meat is recently slaughtered. There's no changes yet. Wala siyang changes. Yun pa rin siya, yung mukha niya. Wala siyang pagbabago. And that is what we call fresh meat. And ang sarap niyan, sobra. Sarap niyan. Next, we have meat byproducts. Meat byproducts, the edible byproducts from the slaughterhouse. So, pag sinabing meat byproducts, sinabi dito, edible byproducts from the slaughterhouse. So, what do you mean by that? Edible, ibig sabihin nakakain, hindi siya toxic. Pwede siyang kainin nila, hindi siya nakakatakot kainin. Yon. Such as yung mga edible tulad ng liver, yung kidney, heart, yung blood, yung dugo din, also edible pag sa meat byproducts. Okay? Next, we have the abattoir. Okay? Si abattoir, the premises approved and registered as premises for slaughtering animals for human food. Okay, when you talk about abattoir, they are called as official slaughterhouse. Ang tawag sa kanila ay official slaughterhouse. Why we need to have an official slaughterhouse? Because doon natin malaman, kasi yung mga official slaughterhouse, they are the one expert in slaughtering animals. Malinis, di ba? Walang problema, walang MSA parts na nawawala, ganon. So that's abattoir. Okay, abattoir is a premises or isang lugar, locations where animals slaughter. Okay? Alam niyo ba, I know how to slaughter animals. Pero naaawa ako, pero nawawala lang din yung awa ko. Napaka bad. Pero alam niyo rin yung feeling na, let's say, ikaw nagpakain, tapos ikaw yung pumatay. Oo, masakit, sobra. One of my classmate sister ba na yung kinasal. Actually siya yung nag-alaga ng baboy. Tapos ginamit siya tapos parang napamahal niya sa kanya yung baboy talaga for how many months. Inalagaan niya ganon. Laki talaga yung baboy. Tapos nung kinatay na siya namin, lumayo siya kasi nasasaktan siya. Nasasaktan siya yung hinuhuli na namin. So parang nasasaktan siya. So ang ginawa niya is lumayo siya muna ng ilang oras, pumunta muna siya sa ibang bahay. Yung hindi niya maririnig na sumisigaw yung baboy. Yun. So ayun, nasakto yung pag-uwi niya, nakita niya nakatay na yung baboy. Pero umiyak siya. Oo, kasi ma-miss niya daw yung baboy niya. Pero pagkabukas kinain niya rin. Yun, so nilitsyon kasi yun namin. Oo, prepare namin. Pagkabukas kinain niya rin. Sabi niya, masarap pala. Oo, masarap ang alaga, right? Ayun. Ano ba, also share ko rin sa inyo guys, meron talaga mga tao na pet lover. But there are some animals that you cannot use as pet. Okay? Kasi they are used for consumption. Those are ornamental animals. You cannot use it for fancy. You cannot use it for slaughtering, but for fancy only. Yon. So, my mother has she has a piglet before. May piglet po siya. Nakabili ka ng piglet. Kasi gusto niya daw magkate ng baboy kasi mahal man yung baboy dati. So, bumili siya ng baboy. worth parang 1,500 ata yun, 1,300 or 1,000 lang ata yun siya. Tapos it's a Durok, breed, and then it has a combination of Durok and parang it's a native pig na meron siya ganun. Kasi nga meron po siyang dots na black, pero it's a red color. Ganon. Tapos it's a female one. Ang nangyari is that 1 month old ba yun? Parang 1 month old. 1 month old namatay na yung baboy. Kasi nga ang ginawa ng mama ko inalagaan niya talaga yung baboy, ginawa niyang anak. Oo. Ano yun, pinanggatas niya. Pinanggatas. Tapos, may pangalan na yung baboy. Ang pangalan ng baboy na yun ay, pangalan po ng baboy ay si Miswa. Si Miswa na yung baboy. Tapos, ayaw napatayin yung baboy. So, pag gusto nga ibilin, hindi siguro mabili yun. Oo, kasi nga, inaano ng mama ko, pinapatulog niya yung baboy, tapos inililigo. Normal naman paliguin yung baboy. Pinapainom niya ng gatas. Tapos yan, basta marami siyang ginagawa sa baboy. Oo, tapos parang yung bata talaga, pinapatulog niya. Mabango talaga yung baboy namin, hindi mabaho. No? Tapos namatay lang yun po dahil sa infection. Yung bang, wala kasi kaming yung tangkalan, wala kaming ganun. So, nakatali lang siya. May hose siya para hindi masira, maano yung neck niya. May hose siya, tapos yung hose yung nakano para hindi mano yung neck niya. So bata pa siya yun. Tapos sinailan namin siya. Tapos nasa kanal siya, nakapunta siya sa kanal. Tapos parang nakainom ata siya. Kasi pag nakainom po sila ng yung parang mga unnecessary food, unnecessary particles, possible yung pwede masira yung digestive system nila. Doon po siya namatay. Yun, nagkaroon siya ng yung pagtatae. Sabi ng mama ko, kailangan daw i-deworm. Sabi ko, kahit i-deworm mo pa yan, hindi na yan maagapan. Kasi nga, yun, wala kaming proper talaga. So, sayang lang yung 1,000. Kaya na 1,000 dun. So, at least naranasan ng mama ko na magbantay. Sabi niya pa, ayaw niya ipakatay yun, ayaw niya ipabenta. Meron nga po kaming manok eh. May manok din po kami. Inalagaan niya din yun. Hindi po siya nagamit. Hindi po siya na tawag doon. Hindi po siya nakatay. Namatay na lang. Oo, namatay na lang, hindi nakatay. Kasi ayaw niya. Inalagaan niya doon kasi yun. Parang nawala din yun siyang isa. Oo. Ano lang, hanapin ko muna yung hinihintay ko talaga siya kasi lang lobat siya. Wait lang. Siguro. It's for them to realize. For them to realize. Hayaan mo sila. For them to realize. Ba't sila? Alright. So, okay na. Pagpasensya nyo na guys. So, that's just a quick intermission. Quick. Ayun ha. So, yung mga pet lover dyan, huwag na lang po kayo mga baboy o hindi nyo kaya. Ayun. So, next we have cold slaughter. So, cold slaughter is a slaughtering an animal dead of some causes prior to slaughter. Ibig sabihin po, bago siya ni-slaughter, bago nyo siya kinatay, namatay na siya for some reason. What are those reasons? Can you give me one reason? Valid reason. Can you give me one valid reason kung bakit siya tinawag na cold slaughter. Kasi pag sinabi mong cold slaughter, animal already dead before slaughter. So meaning unsafe siya. Perfect, correct. That's a double dead. Correct. Thank you very much, Raymark. So that's a double dead. Let's say, nagkaroon ng bagyo, flood, no? Tapos, yung cattle, may nangyari din yan po sa amin na ano, na-shock na lang ako bakit nag-init yung katawan ko. Kasi nga, late na kasi sinabi yun sa amin. Pag ginawa at pang pulutan yun. Late na sinabi ng barkada namin na, yung pinampulutan namin na na pagkain ba? Yung baka po is, yung beef kasi is, patay na, namatay siya. Hindi sa sakit. Pwede din, namatay sa sakit, pwede din yun. Double dead yun. Namatay siya dahil na lunod. Nalunod siya. Oo, nalunod. Tapos, di ba, nalunod na. So, nung nakuha siya, nalunod na yung baka. So, kinatay siya. After na. So, hindi lumabas yung blood. Yung bleed. Walang bleeding nangyari. So, that's considered a cold slaughter. Yun. Oo. Britzel yung ganyan, like yung itik na nilibing na sinukay, ginawang pulutan. Cold slaughter din yun. Kasi nga, dead na nga, sinlaughter mo pa. Pero unsafe yun. Mainit yun sa katawan. Mainit sa katawan. Mainit yun. Kasi nga, hindi lumabas yung blood niya. Mayroon toxicity yun eh. Delikado yun. Delikado. Next, we have fabrication. Fabrication is the process of cutting carcasses into standard, wholesale, and retail cuts. So that's fabrication. Baka tanungin kayo anong fabrication? Pabrika, sir. Tuktukin ko kayo, pabrika. Pabrika naman siya. But not necessarily like pabrika ng clothes or whatever. Fabrication is a cutting carcass into standard parts tulad like ng mga sirloin, ribs, mga ganun. But we will discuss that too kasi lumalabas din yan sa board exam. May mga cuttings na meron sa pork na wala sa beef. May ganun. May mga cuttings na ganyan. Merong cuttings na wala sa beef. Meron sa pork na wala sa goat. Oo, sa chevron. May ganyan. May ganyan na So, I'll give you a chart on that. And then what you're going to do is to analyze what's on the chart. Ano yung pinagkaiba ng each of the fabricated meat. Kasi nga, magkaiba yun sila eh. May mga ganyan ba, nakakalito yan sa board exam. Nakakalito. Mga chunk, ganun. So, you should know those things, okay? Next, you have flaying. Flaying is an act of removing hide from animals. Pag sinabing flaying, hindi playing yung naglalaro ha. Flaying. Flaying is the skinning animals. What do you mean by skinning animals? Tinatanggalan ng hide. What animals that we are removing hide? What animal? Hindi playing ha. Flaying. F. Flaying. What animal that you are removing the hide? Give me an example. Perfect. Goat. Yes. You're doing meron din sa ibang fish. Meron din sa ibang fish flaying ginagawa. Sheep. Mm-hmm. How about beef? Are we doing flaying sa beef? Are we using flaying sa beef? Do you have any idea? Kasi nire-remove natin yung skin or hide, right? Are you familiar with balbacqua? Are you familiar with balbacqua? Yan yung masarap. Yan yung masarap na potahe sa beef. yung balbakwa. What we are doing, how we do the balbakwa? Of course, we need to hide. We need to hide that, or skinning. Tama, masarap yan kahit walang sauce. Lalo na pag mainit at maanghang. Yun. So, what we are doing, yes po, possible yung flaying sa beef because flaying means the removal of the skin or hide from an animal during slaughter. So, in cattle beef, carabaos, cara beef, and goats, chevon, the hide or skin removal completely after bleeding. So this is a different from swine po kasi where usually the hair is removed by scalding and scraping instead of flaying sa pig, right? Sa pork, what we are doing, scalding and scraping only just to remove the hair. But in beef, in cara beef and chevon, what we are doing is flaying, skinning, that is done to remove the hide after bleeding. Is it possible, right? Possible na magkakaroon na ginagawa ang flaying sa beef. O hindi niya pa na-encounter yan? Have you not encountered it yet? Siguro wala siguro. Wala siguro pa ninyo na-encounter yan. Oo. So, basta, ayan, nakita ko na yan na they are doing flaying or skinning. Okay. You know what, guys? Some of mga slaughterhouse, when doing flaying po, they are using cheesecloth. Oh, you know what's cheesecloth? Do you know what's cheesecloth? Yung iba hindi alam ano yung cheesecloth. Ano yung cheesecloth? Ito yung sineseparate yung particles from liquids. So, ang ginagawa nila dati, nirarap nila. Yun. Di ba nga binibitay nila yan para patuluin, like pinapadry nila. So they are putting cheesecloth para yung mga naiiwan ng mga tawag doon, mga fats, mga blood, or ano pang klaseng mga naiwan doon sa meat. Parang sisigupin niya. Oo. Parang sisigupin niya. So, at least you know this, bang hindi ata na-include yung cheesecloth doon sa shrouding. Tama. Very good. Correct. That's shrouding. Shrouding kasi in meat processing, shrouding is the practice of wrapping a freshly slaughtered beef carcass or sometimes lamb with a cloth, usually cotton or cheesecloth ang ginagamit. Ang process na tinatawag, yung sinasabi ko sa inyo guys, na paglalagay ng cheesecloth ay shrouding. Pero yung anong ginagamit nila na pag-wrap doon, cheesecloth ang tawag doon. Usually cotton lang siya or cheesecloth after the slaughter and washing. Bakit ako nandiyan na sa meat processing? Hindi pa nga tayo tapos sa slaughtering. Yun, basta yun na, at least na lumabas siya sa bunganga ko. Para malay nyo, para maalala nyo. Okay, next we have meat terms. Another meat terms, corned meat. Corned meat, prepared meat cured by soaking with or without one or more of nitrate, sugar, dextrose, syrup, honey, and with or without the use of spices. So, what do you mean by corned meat? Tawa ko niyan eh. I have a student before, tinanong ko siya, what do you mean by corned meat? Sir, ito po yung meat na binoboil kasama ang corn. Meat. Kasama ang corn. Medyo na-stress ako doon, konti lang naman. Tapos, sabi ko sa akin, nagawa mo na pala yan. Guys, meat from corn. Kasi tinawag na corned meat. Yes, correct. Yung hinimay. Yes, correct. Tama yan. Yun yung hinimay. Pero yung ginigrill talaga, ginagrill ba yung tawag doon? Oo. So, ang tanong dito ngayon, is corned meat coming from corn? That's the question. Ginaling. May kasi iba kasi ginaling. Gigaling. O gigaling. Ginaling. Pastil. Oo, ganun. So, okay. Guys, makinig. Um, yung iba kasi pag sinabing corned meat, sasabihin na agad na corn. Galing sa corn. Makinig mo na sa sabi agad pag sinabing corn, galing sa corn meat. Galing sa corn. Makinig ha, para mawala na yung ano sa utak. Oo. Galing sa lata. Makinig muna. Kahit hindi yan galing sa lata. Makinig. Para mawala na yung ano sa utak ninyo. Kasi parang nakakalito din kasi pag hindi ma-explain further more sa inyo. Okay. Why is it called corned meat? Kasi the word corned meat po kasi from the old English word corn, which meant po siya grain or small particles. Grain or small particles. But in meat processing, it refers to the large grains or corns or tinatawag po natin na rock salt. Yung malalaki bang ano ba? Yung, di ba mapapansin ninyo, pag binuksan nyo yan, yung corn beef, meron siya yung mga malalaking parang puti-puti na parang salt. Ang tawag dun ay rock salt. Yan ang tinatawag na corn. Okay? So, large grains, yun ang tinatawag na corn. So, they use it to cure or preserve the meat. Okay? So, corned meat, what it really is, corned meat is beef. Okay, again, corned meat or corned beef is a beef that usually ang ginagamit na part ay brisket or flank. O take note nyo na ha. Yung corned meat, anong ginagamit na part? Brisket or flank. Dalawa lang yan. Wait lang. Yan ako na. Ilagay ko na sa ano. Brisket or flank. Correct? Kaya siya parang maalat. Correct. So, yan ang ginagamit. Brisket or flank. Okay? So, pinipreserve nila by curing in a brine solution with salt, sugar, spices. Sometimes nilalagyan nila ng nitrates, and they are also adding color and also flavor. Okay? Example, yung Argentina, Pure Foods, yun, Libby's, or Levi's ba yung tawag doon? Libby's, lagi Libby's. Those are homemade or mga homemade brine beef, no? They are not actually beef with corn. They are not beef with corn. Corned beef is a beef cured with corns of salt. Okay? It is cured with corn of salt. But not literally a corn. Naintindihan? So what if pag nakalagay yan sa board exam, true or false, tapos hindi nyo binasa ng mabuti, nakalagay doon, corned meat is prepared meat cured by soaking with or without one or more nitrate, tapos may nakalagay corn na. Sagot nyo doon, true. Kasi may corn. Oh. Kaya pala naghiwa na. Again ha, ang corned meat is not a corn. Tinawag lang siya na corn kasi because corn is like, you find like a rock salt. Oo. So, mixed siya with those preservatives. Naintindihan? To cure ha, to cure. Okay. Very good. Kinaintindihan nyo na. Ngayon, alaman nyo na hindi yan corn. Alaman nyo na ngayon na hindi yan corn. Ilang taon na kayo bago nyo nalaman yan. Okay, next. Curing. Okay? Curing is the addition of salt with or without nitrate, and sugar for the purpose of lengthening shelf life and or enhancing the development of odor, color, and flavor. What do you mean by curing? Sa sinaunang panahon, what they are doing? They are doing curing. Why they are doing curing? Because they want to preserve, wala pa po tayong refrigerator before, wala pa tayong freezer. What you're doing to preserve the flavor, to preserve the odor and the color of the meat as fresh as it possible. So that's curing. We are adding salt or nitrites. What do you mean? What do you mean itag? What do you mean itag? Yung nakatag na karne? Yung nakataging? Di ba ginayin mo? Yung nakatag na karne sa palengke or meat shop? Tama na nga. Yung sa palengke or meat shop, yung mga hanging. Okay. Bakit hindi agad nasisira ang karne na nakatag? Una-una, makinig. Actually, there are a lot of factors. Kay Chamba kayo magtanong. Kay Chamba. Kay Chamba daw. Alright, first is inspection and tagging. Kapag po kasi ang hayop ay kinatay siya as credited slaughter or slaughterhouse or abattoir, meron po silang meat inspection certificate. So meron po silang meat stamp or tag galing sa National Meat Inspection Services or NMIS na tinatawag natin. So ibig sabihin po nun, ligtas at dumaan po sa meat inspection para po masigurado yung walang sakit ang hayop. Pangalawang rason, proper handling at saka sanitation. Bago siya dalhin sa palengke, nililinis muna nila yung karne at iniiwasan ang dumi o dugo na madaling pagmulan po ng bakterya. Kung tama ang yung pag-transport at saka pag-display, hindi siya direktang naiinitan, malinis yung gamit na ginamit nila, mas tumatagal ang freshness. Pangatlong rason, low temperature or cooling. Kahit hindi siya laging naka-ref, kapag ang karne po kasi ay bagong katay or flesh slaughtered, malamig pa ang loob at may natural pa siya na muscle glycogen. Pag meron pa siyang muscle glycogen, makikita niyo yan may mga puti-puti yan. Muscle glycogen po, na yun po nakakatulong para ma-delay po yung pagkasira ng isang karne. Kung naka-chiller naman, lalo pang tumatagal dahil mabagal ang paglaki ng mikrobyo ng microorganism. Pang-apat na rason is that fast marketing chain also. Sa Pilipinas kasi, madalas kasi diretso mula sa slaughterhouse, palengke, tapos ibebenta agad sa market, yun. Dahil mabilis po kasi yung turnover, hindi na siya masyado nagkakaroon ng panahon para masira yung karne. So, yun. Yung may mga tag po dumaan sila sa inspection, kaya mas ligtas at inaasahan po silang mas matagal po sila bago masira. Kung tama yung pagkahawak or pagkatay sa kanila. Kaya we are doing inspection. Yeah. Yun. Next, we have quick freezing. Quick freezing naman is a freezing products at a temperature of negative 20 degree Fahrenheit or lower. Mas mababa pa dyan. So that's quick freezing. Freezing products at a temperature. Madalian lang. Tulad po ng mga hotdog. Yun. Hindi siya pamatagalan. We have green hams. Green hams and smoke-cured hams. What do you mean by this? Okay, ulitin ko yung quick freezing po kasi para mas maintindihan. Again, yung quick freezing, yun lang nga, less than negative 20 degree Fahrenheit or lower. Basta it lacks freshness. So that's quick freezing. Yung green hams naman, cured po siya, pero unsmoked hams siya. Okay? Cured but unsmoked hams. Kasi sa some of the kasi cured pero smoked. Oo. This one is cured but unsmoked. We have next hot hot-boned meat. Hot-boned meat is a meat deboned before the development of rigor mortis. Okay, deboned before rigor mortis sets in. Okay, now, the question is, what is rigor mortis? Kung alam nyo talaga, what is rigor mortis? Kung naintindihan nyo talaga, sabi niya hot bone daw. Ang hot bone meat is a meat deboned before the development of rigor mortis. Question is, what is rigor mortis? Kasi lumalabas ito sa board exam. What do you mean by that? Pag sinabi mong rigor mortis, ano ibig sabihin yan? That's a very important concept in meat processing or slaughtering. Very good. Stiff muscles. Very good. That is a stiff muscles. Very good. Papa ni Tanggol. Bakit? Si Rigor. Si Rigor. Eh, bawal pala ako bad words. Papa ni Rigor. Si Rigor. Rigor. Ganun. Okay. So, rigor mortis, again, it is the stage po kasi after slaughtering. After slaughter, when the muscles of the animal stiffen and harden. Stiffen, tapos matigas pa talaga. Because the muscle po kasi fibers contract and there is no more energy left to the relax. Naiwan para mag-relax sa kanila. Wala lang ATP. Okay? So, it usually starts a few hours after that. And it lasts until enzymes in the muscle start to break down the tissue. Okay, now, why does it happen? Why does it happen to have a rigor mortis? While the animal is alive, muscles use ATP, energy to contract and relax. Diba? After slaughter, blood circulation stops. So, oxygen is gone. Nawala na oxygen. And there's no more ATP is produced. So, without ATP, muscle can contract but cannot relax. So, they become stiff. So, titigas sila. So, that's what we call rigor mortis. Now, there are time frame each of, okay, I'll give you, just take notes. There are time frame. Okay? For swine, dapat, this is the exact timing, depends on the species stress, tsaka temperature. Pero later on, didiscuss naman natin yan. But I'll give you an idea already. Pag swine, 6 to 12 hours after slaughter, dapat na-cook na siya. Okay? Again, dapat na-cook na siya. Swine, 6 to 12 hours after slaughter. Okay? Yung cattle naman, 12 to 24 hours. Yung poultry, 1 to 2 hours. Yon. So, magkaiba ha. So, again, how is it important talaga? Why is it very important? And how is it important talaga? Important siya in meat processing because if meat is cut or cooked before rigor mortis passes, it becomes tough because the fibers are contracted. So after the rigor mortis resolves, the enzymes also tenderize the muscle. So turning it into edible, tender meat, ganon. That's why carcasses are usually chilled. No, that's why yung mga chill nila, in-age nila, and age for a period before being sold. Like example, let's say, guys, ganito, binebenta nila, para mas tender ba siya, malambot siya, after, like say, ganito ha, 6 to 12 hours after slaughter, example, katayin ngayon. So, 6 to 12 hours niyan, ano oras na lang yan? 9. So, 6 to 12 hours, o bilangin mo, 9 hours, so 9 a.m. in the morning. So, after ng 9 a.m. in the morning, pwede mo siya ibenta. Pag ibenta mo na siya, edible na yan. At the same time, tender yung meat. Kasi nga, after ng rigor mortis. Okay? After ng rigor mortis. So, 6 to 12 hours nagkakaroon ng rigor mortis. So, ibig sabihin nun, after ng rigor mortis, nag-tenderize yung muscle. But before, if a meat is cut or cooked before rigor mortis po passes, bago pa dumaan yung rigor mortis, it becomes tough. Or because the fibers are contracted, kasi nga parang ano pa ba, parang ano pa siya, parang buhay pa siya. Kasi kina-contract pa niya yung fibers niya. 6 to 12 hours. Kaya nga 'di ba yung nagkakatay ng mga ng mga karne, um hindi agad nila binebenta. Right? Chill muna nila. Chill muna nila saglit. 'Di ba? Kasi nga to make it tenderize. Oo. Naintindihan? Ganun din nangyayari. 'Di ba nga let's say yung mga nagkatay ng baboy. Oo, nagkakatay ng baboy. Kasi nga may kasal ganun. Ngayong gabi na to, ano na sila? Nagkakatay na yan sila. So, bilangin mo na lang 6 hours. Katay na sila 9. So, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. So, 3 a.m. mga 4 a.m. nagluluto na yan sila. Oo, because it's already tenderized. So, yon. Pag ikaw talaga parang home consumption lang. So, yun, that's rigor mortis. But we will discuss more about it kasi meron tayong postmortem yun. Di-discuss natin furthermore yan. Okay? So, next we have milk terms. So, we are done with the meat terms. Now, let's proceed to the milk terms. Milk terms, we have pasteurization. By sinabing pasteurization, it is a process of heating a foodstuff. Usually a liquid for a definite time at a definite temperature and thereafter cooling it immediately. U.S. Public Health Service recommends heating milk to at least 145 degree Fahrenheit for 30 minutes or 161 degree Fahrenheit for at least 15 seconds. Mataas kasi ito, kaya 15 seconds lang. Okay? So that's pasteurization. Okay? So again, pasteurization, it is the heating milk to kill the pathogen. Heating milk to kill the pathogen, the pathogens. Example, yung mga commercial fresh milk, yan. Okay? Next, we have homogenization. Homogenization, it is a fat globules are subjected to mechanical treatments which break them down into smaller globules uniformly dispersed in the milk. So what do you mean by this? Homogenization is a breaking fat globules for uniform milk. Okay? Breaking fat. Laging tandaan, binibreak etong fat, binibreak niya yung fat globules para mag-uniform lahat ng milk. Okay? Ano ba yung mga fat globules? Di ba pag nilalagay natin milk, meron yung parang mga malalaking na parang bubbles. Those are flat globules. Yun. So, anong ginagawa natin? Di ba inaano natin sa spoon? Di ba? Parang binibreak natin. Yun. Inaano natin siya, binidiin. So, that's a flat goes with your, that's homogenization. Binibreak niya yung fat globules para uniform ang milk. Para malinis tingnan. Next, we have certified milk. Certified milk is a fresh milk of higher purity to be delivered to the customer within 36 hours. The number of bacteria is 10,000 or less per ml. So what do you mean by this? Pag sinabi mong certified milk, it means very clean and they are delivered quickly. Hindi po siya pwedeng matagal. So dapat po, after na gawin yan, dapat dinideliver agad. Kasi nga, because it has the number of bacteria which is 10,000 or less per ml. So they're called certified milk. Okay? Next, we have pasteurized milk. Pasteurized milk is a milk heated to the temperature or not lower than 145 degree Fahrenheit for a period of not less than 30 minutes. What do you mean by pasteurized milk? Pasteurized milk yun, kanina, pasteurization. Heating milk to kill pathogens. Yun. Okay? Homogenized milk. O, kanina din, sinabi ko homogenized milk. Milk that contains finer globules or of butter fat than those present in fresh milk. It is prepared by passing fresh milk through small openings by pressure. So that's homogenization or homogenized milk. So what we are doing is, of course, we are breaking down those flat globules to make the milk uniform. Next, we have evaporated milk. Evaporated milk is a fresh milk which has been evaporated to concentration of 73.7% water. It contains 7% protein and 7.9% fat, 9.9% lactose, and 1% minerals. What do you mean by evaporated milk? Evaporated milk is a canned. Canned. It is a canned sa lata and it reduce water. Oh, as you can see here, 73.7% water lang siya meron. It contains 7% protein. Meron siya 7% protein, 7.9% fat, 9.9% lactose, and 1% minerals. Kaya masarap siya. Gusto ko yan iniinom. Lalo na yung evaporated. Sarap yan. Sa halo-halo. Yun. Next, we have condensed. Condensed milk. Concentrated milk to which sugar has been added. Ito na yung matamis na nilalagay natin sa mga salad. Yun. It has 27% water, 8.1% protein, 54% lactose. Bakit malaki yung lactose niya? Kasi lactose na sugar, right? Matamis to. Oo, matamis. And 1.7% minerals. Ito yung ginagawa natin ng Munchkin. Yema. Yan ang ginagawa natin. So again, condensed milk is sweetened and thick. Sweetened yan. Sweetened. Sweets. Parang kayo, sweets. Pero nag-break pa rin. Sweetened. Yun. Next, we have dried or powdered milk. Dried or powdered milk is a milk where the butter fat is replaced with vegetable fat, such as coconut fat. What do you mean by this? Powdered milk is a dried for long storage. Example yung Bear Brand. Yun. Example yun. That's powdered milk. Right? So dried siya for long storage. Masarap yung Bear Brand, di ba? Pag kilawin. Masarap kilawin. Aminin nyo, kumikilaw din kayo. Yung gatas ng anak ninyo, ano nyo din. Aminin nyo. Ako, mahilig ako niyan. Dati, meron kaming gatas. Pupunta lang ako doon, kakainin ko lang isang. Sabi ko, isang tablespoon lang. Maya-maya, ulit na naman. Masarap kasi. Next, we have recombined milk. Recombined milk naman is a dry skim milk, dry buttermilk plus butter oil. Ano ba yan? Ang dami naman, sir. Okay, recombined milk, to make it shorter, it is made from milk powder. Made po yan siya ng milk powder, pero may dagdag lang po siya na made from milk powder, may add lang po siya na butter oil. Para make it more easy and short. Okay? Ang reconstituted naman, reconstituted milk is a milk powder plus water. So, this one, milk powder lang siya. Milk powder plus water. So, H2O. Yan. So, kung ang recombined milk is milk powder plus butter oil, yung reconstituted milk naman is a milk powder plus water. Okay? That is reconstituted milk. Get it? Did you get the point now? So, magkaiba sila, ha? Meron yan sa manual ninyo. Binigay ko kayo ng manual yan. So, take note yun na lang sa manual ninyo. Ha? Okay. Next. It's already 9:17 pa. Okay na. Ito na. Okay, next we have basic principles of selecting animals for slaughter. So, in selecting animals for slaughter, it depends mainly on the purpose for slaughtering and to the usage and cost of the meat produced. The basic consideration in selecting animals are as follows. Guys, actually, ayoko ba talaga to siya i-discuss. Kaso lang sa board exam, lumalabas talaga to siya, guys. As in, 100% lumalabas siya. Kasi ito yung principles or concept. Kaya makinig kayong mabuti, ha? Kasi nga, mahirap talaga explain pag paulit-ulit. Okay? Mahaba kasi ito eh. So, isa-isahin natin yung mga basic principles of selecting animals for slaughter. Kasi lumalabas ito sa board exam. First is sex consideration. Barrow and Chilt have no distinct differences in meat quality. Wala po silang pinagkaiba sa, ang Barrow at saka Chilt ay walang pinagkaiba pagdating sa meat quality. Boar taint, ano yung boar taint? Langsa. Boar taint becomes apparent at 7 months of age, and that castrated male deposit more fat than uncastrated counterparts and females of the same age. What do you mean by that? Sige nga, if you understand it. Castrated males, yung barrow, steer, so those are castrated males. They have what? Better quality meat. Intact males may have odor or tough meat. Again, a castrated meat, males, pag castrated, nawala ng isang itlog. 'Di ba? So hindi na siya malangsa. So pag hindi na siya malangsa, masarap ang karne. Naintindihan? Ay, iba yung nasa isipan ni Miriam. Pag tuli na, masarap. Pag hindi pa tuli, hindi masarap. Maintindihan? Guys, naintindihan nyo ako. Kasi ganito yan. One of the reason, bakit, ay, tumatawa talaga si Mark. Si Mark hindi pa siya circumcised. Oo, tama. Tama ka, Jeff. Pag sa baboy, barako mabaho. pag hindi siya nakastrated. Tapos pag ihiyawin mo siya, malangsa. Right? Para siyang kanding, malangsa. Pag ano. So, yun. That's the concept of sex consideration. Oo. So, pag pumili kayo, dapat yung castrated. Oo. Guys, there are two different two distinct differences po kasi in meat quality ng poultry at saka ng livestock. Sa livestock, pag tinatanggalan natin ng itlog, ang tawag doon ay castration. Sa poultry, pag tinatanggalan natin ng itlog sa loob, tawag doon ay kapon. Okay, to give you a technical knowledge or idea, bakit siya tinawag na kapon, sir? Kukunin lang pa rin naman ding itlog ng rooster. Okay, makinig. Nasa loob kasi yon. Kaya siya tinawag na kapon kasi yung itlog ng manok, yung scrotum nasa loob yun. Hindi siya nagabitay-bitay ba? Yung Bisaya na bitay-bitay. Hindi ba siya yung nagaano ba? Nagabitay. Hindi siya nagalaylay. Hindi siya yung tulad ng ano ba? Ibig sabihin nasa loob siya. Yung tinatawag natin na impotence, yung mga ganun ba? Oo. Kung naalala niyo pa yon, yun. So, hindi siya ganon. Oo. Hindi siya tama, hindi siya lambiti, hindi siya nakasabit. Sa loob kasi siya. So, what you're going to do is, you're going to do a surgery. Parang surgery ginagawa mo. Para makapon mo siya. Ang tawag doon ay kapon. Okay? Pero pag nakalaylay siya, pag nakasabit siya, that's what we call castration. Sir, meron ako nabasa sa libro. Meron silang sa technical lang to ng veterinary ha. Nabasa ko 'yun na Maisa silang baboy na ay hindi, no. Isang hayop, aso siya. Tapos, ang term na ginamit nila is caponize. Bakit siya caponize instead of castration? Kasi caponize ang tinawag nila kasi nga nasa loob yung scrotum niya. Like, hindi siya nakalaylay. Oo. Pero lalaki siya. Oo. Or nakadikit ba sa ano ba? Yun, basta mangyayari. Makikita niyo yan guys pag nasa ano na tayo, nasa swine production, nakita niyan. Ipapakita ko sa inyo yung different ano niyan, kung bakit siya tinatawag na may part na tinatawag siyang castration, tinatawag siyang kapon. Ganon. Pero technically speaking talaga, pag kapon, isipin niyo na lang poultry yan, like mga birds, ganon, kapon yan. O pag mga livestock, castration yan. Pag tao, circumcise yun. Hindi castration ha. Tuktukin ko talaga kayo. Castration. Castration. Oo, hindi ka pa na-castrate. Ano na-castrate? Pag sabi mo castrate, tao yan. Castrate, tao yan. Circumcise ang tawag doon. So, iba yung technicalities nila. Kaya, pakinggan nyo mabuti. Okay? Next, we have steers. So, later on, i-discuss nyo yung pinaka-technical, nung pinaka-deep talaga na knowledge nung castration tsaka caponize. Oo. Bakit nasasabi ng ibang doktor na caponize? Bakit nasasabi nila na castration? Nalilito ako, sir. Ganun, may mga term na ganyan. Huwag kayo malito. Huwag kayo magka-problema. Kung hindi nyo alam yung sagot, tumahimik na lang kayo. Kayo na lang lumabas. Oo. Next, we have steers and heifers. Okay. Steers and heifers have similar meat characteristics. They have similar characteristics. However, steers tend to have more marbling. What is marbling, by the way? Marbling. What's marbling? What do you mean by marbling? Streak of fats. Oo. Streak of fats yan. Anong marbling? Small flecks or streaks of fats within the muscle tissue. That's a marbling. Bakit importante ang marbling? Bakit importante ang marbling? Kasi tenderness, sa juiciness, sa flavorness, and quality grading. Oo. Yang apat na yan ang dahilan kaya may marbling. Okay? Tenderness, ibig sabihin, intramuscular fat makes meat softer when cooked. Okay? Juiciness, ibig sabihin, fat melts during cooking, keeping the meat moist. Flavor, marbling enhances the beefy or meaty taste. Quality grading, in beef especially, more marbling is equals to high grade of beef. What are those breed that has more marbling? Basta beef. Beef. Ano nga ba yung ano na yun? Ano ba yung tawag dyan? Ano ba yung marbling sa Tagalog? Hanapin nyo na. Marbling in Tagalog. Taba. Taba. Ano nga, meron tawag doon talaga. Yung yung sa Wagyu. Perfect. Wagyu. Meron taas ang Wagyu. Perfect. Wagyu. More marbling Wagyu. Angus cattle. They have higher. Ano pa ba yung ano? Ano nga tawag? Sebo. Yun, sebo. Sa beef. Marbling yun. Yun. Sebo. Again, mas maraming marbling, ibig sabihin mataas ang kalidad ng karne. Mataas ang quality ng karne pag maraming Marbling. Ha? Tinong ugat or batik na taba daw sa loob ng ano. Basta marbling. Yun. Search nyo sa Google, iba yung picture niya. Makita niyo sa picture. Okay, more subcutaneous fat and less longicibus dorsi area than heifers and bulls. Bull carcasses contain 8% more muscle and 38% less fat than steer carcasses. Boneless bull carcasses contain 58% less crude protein than steer carcasses. Basta yun ang point ko, guys. Sa sex consideration, pag castrated, masarap ang meat. So, pag mataas ang marbling, maganda ang quality ng meat, especially sa beef. Intindihan? Okay. Next, we have, okay, sex consideration. Balik-balik na naman tayo sa sex consideration. Alright. So, ito pala yung pinaka, no. Meat from entire is generally less tender, darker, coarser, and lower in overall acceptability than that of castrated males. Yun na. Basta pag sinabi mong entire, guys, ibig sabihin, buo pa siya. Hindi pa siya na-castrate, wala pang nangyari sa kanya. So, ibig sabihin po, pag ganun, less tender siya, darker, maitim, coarser, pero hindi na. Pero yung mga maitim, minsan naman castrated naman yan sila, di ba? Oo. Sa lahi lang talaga yun. Maitim. Okay, so, less tender, darker, coarser, yan, and lower in overall acceptability kesa sa mga castrated males. Kaya mas maganda talaga pag castrated. Naintindihan? Oo. Hopefully, ganun din si Britzel. Okay, next we have age consideration. Age considerations, the recommended ages of common livestock for intact meat processing and fresh meat retailing are 4 to 8 months for swine. Yung iba dyan, ginagawa na 3 months pa lang, naging lechon de leche. 2 months pa lang, naging lechon de leche. O, ganun nangyari. So, 4 to 8 months po ha, for swine, for fresh meat retailing. 3 years or younger, or more than 3 years for cattle and carabaos, and about a year for goats, or greater one, or 1 year above. So, meat from older animals has the tendency to be darker, tougher, fatter. Sinasabi ko sa inyo, guys, pag matanda na ang isang hayop, makunat ang laman. Yun. So, and usually poorer in quality than meat from younger animals. So, meat from animals is also dark, rough textured, but flavorful and has a high water binding and emulsion capacity and is associated with a high degree of marbling. So, what do you mean by this? Age consideration. Why we consider age kapag pumipili tayo ng mga pag process tayo ng ano. Okay. Pag younger, ibig sabihin tender, 'di ba? Pag older, ibig sabihin tough. Pero this one tender. This one tough but flavorful. Matigas pero masarap. Oo nga. Kaya nga sinasabi nila, masarap pag single mom. Oo. Yun. So, tough by flavorful. But flavorful. And then we have also, example, let's say, lechon. Yung mga saklintig is tender because of young age. Diba yung sa lechon, young yung inaano natin, mga 4 months enough na yun. Actually, mga 3 months yung ginagawa ng lechon. Diretso nga talaga. Oo. Mga shitty. Yun. So, ibig sabihin po nun, masarap yun sila, ng lechon. Pero, hindi siya flavorful. Kaya nga yung ginagamit natin na pang recados ba yun? Pag may mga event, Ganun. So, anong ginagawa natin doon pag may mga event? Yung mga matanda more than 4 years, 4 years, 4 months, like mga 8 months or 6 or 5, basta malaki na siya, mabigat na siya. Oo. Meron pa yan guys, aside sa buwan, meron pa yan sa kilo. Meron pa talaga yan sa standard talaga. So, we will discuss that too. So, sa magbibigay ako niyan ng sa inyo. But this one is very important. At least you know already this one. Ano ba yung term na nakalimutan ko? Nawala na tuloy ako. So, yun. Ginagamit na sa mga ricados ng mga estopado, mga ganon, kare-kare. Sa mga pork sinigang, mga ganon. Ang ginagamit natin doon, mga more than 4 months yan. Mga more than 4 months. Mga 5, 6, 7, 8. So, iba na po yung nila, yung meat. Tough na siya, pero flavorful. Masarap siya. Yun. Yung bagay talaga pang lechon, yung mga yang. Bagay siya pang lechon. Next, we have size consideration. Ito na yung sinasabi ko sa inyo na sizes. Hindi lang siya sa age, but also sa sizes. Kasi, pag sinabi mo kasing size, ideal slaughter, weight gives optimum yield. Pag ganon. Ideal slaughter weight gives optimum yield. Kaya dapat wise ka din. Right? Let's say ganon, 4 months. 4 months na siya, pero pa rin. Pero hindi siya mabigat. Magaan pa rin siya. So, useless pa rin yun. Sayang pa rin yun. Okay? Okay. Size considerations, the recommended slaughter weights of animals for fresh meat retailing of and intact meat processing for hogs, 80 to 110 kilograms. Ilang, di ba nga, sabi dito, yung sa hogs, anong sabi doon, hogs? Kanina, nakalagay dito, sa swine, 4 to 8 months, right? Sabi niya dito, 4, dito pag age, dito pag size. Okay. 4 to 8 months. Pero ang size is 80 to 110 kilogram. Okay? So, pag cattle and carabaos naman, okay, ang nakalagay sa age dito, 3 years or younger. So, greater than 3 years or younger. 3 years or younger. Okay? So, size niya is, for carabaos, we have, and for cattle and carabaos, 300 to 450 kilograms within this weight ratio. So, 300 to 450 kilograms. And then, for the retail cattle from different livestock is optimum. In goats, no standard size of animals. So, goats, wala siyang standard size. Basta greater than 1. So, no size. No standard size. It's recommended. It seems that there are more advantages in slaughtering large animals since these produce big and meaty cuts. More lean and less fat can be obtained from bigger animals than from small. Sabi dito, mas mataas ang lean, less ang fat can be obtained sa mga bigger animals compared sa smaller ones. Yun. So, ganito na lang. Put this one on your notes. Okay? Next. Class consideration. So, we need also to know the class consideration, the different classes of swine. Why we need to know about the classes? Because different types of swine or beef rank for meat use kasi. So, they are ranked for meat use. So, magkaiba. No? Like say, the different classes of swine may be ranked from the most desired to the least desired for fresh meat retailing and intact meat processing processes as barrows and jilts, stag, shoot, sows, and boars. So, ito yung shoot, ito ginagamit talaga pang lechon. Right? So, meat from sows and stags have high water binding capacity. Hence is advantageous for production of comminuted products. So, pag ganito, let's say meat from sows and stags, ibig sabihin, ito klase sila, kaya nilang mag-hold ng water binding capacity. Etong mga klaseng type ng meat na to, bagay to pang process tulad ng mga longganisa, ano pa, chorizo, ham. Kasi nga, mataas yung water holding capacity nila. Water binding capacity. Kaya, mas maganda yung, pag yang po kasi, makinig, pag yang kasi siya, mababa ang water holding, H2O, holding capacity niya. So, holding capacity. Holding binding, whatever, basta ganon, holding binding capacity niya. Pag sa old po kasi, mataas, kaya yung water holding capacity niya. Kaya nga, ito talaga yung laging ginagamit, yung old na meat, ang ginagamit pag mag-preserve ka ng mga longganisa, chorizo, o ham, ganon. Kasi they can preserve. They can hold for longer. Kaya nga, mas maganda magka-jowa ng matured compare sa immature. Right? Kasi pag matured, future looking forward, or future ano ba, future, yung look forward sa future. Pero pag young, gala-gala lang, yun ang iniisip, di ba? Pero pag mga mature yung naman yung ginojowa nyo, insured naman yun sila. Insured. Next, you have classes of beef and cara beef include steers. Ganun pala yun, sir. Kaya nga minsan gusto ng mga babae is mas matured pa sa kanila yung lalaki. Oo. Yung, aminin nyo girls, di ba? Kita ko ganun ako. Gusto ko yung mas matured pa sa akin. Kasi, basta kasi, kasi ako pasaway kasi ako lagi eh. Oo. Mas gusto ko yung matured pa sa akin. Kasi nga mas maganda sila kausap pagdating sa mga talk about sa life, right? Di ba? Sabi ko sa inyo eh. Classes are of beef and cara beef includes steers, heifers, cows, bulls, hogs, and bullocks. Differences in carcass characteristics seem to be a function of sex, age, size, nutrition of each class receives. Okay? Ay. AFAM. Matanda na yung AFAM na. Kasi yung kasi, alam nyo ba, pag magka-AFAM po kayo, AFAM yung mature din na AFAM. Huwag yung AFAM na yang. Kasi yung AFAM po kasi na yang, more on pa yan, worldly pa yan. Yung, it's a mundane, they are thinking mundanely. Like, let's say, gala-gala pa, ganun. Pero pag pag matured na kasi, iniisip nila yan, yung future, yung tulungan yung pamilya, yun ang laging iniisip nila. Pero tsamba, pag maganong AFAM, may maganong AFAM. Okay, next we have health consideration. Of course, you also need to consider the health of the animals. Only healthy animals should be slaughtered. Again only healthy animals should be slaughtered. Only substantial healthy animals must be slaughtered regardless of the purpose for which the meat will be used. Kung saan siya gagamitin. Sir, can we consider culled animals as health consideration? Can we consider that? Culled animals in health consideration? Who can answer? Can we consider culled animals in slaughtering health as health condition? Yes, kasi kahit culled, makakain pa naman, sir. No po, sir. Guru, sir. Sige, at least, sige na, may nagre-raise ng hand. Pwede naman kayo mag-speak. You can unmute your microphone. Okay. Tama naman. Lahat ay tama. Walang mali. Kasi, lahat sumagot ay babae. So, lahat tama. Okay? Okay. Kasi lahat naman kasi sumagot babae. Kaya lahat tama, walang mali. Okay. Para sure. Okay. Okay, makinig. Culled animals are those removed remove lang sila. Remove from the herd or flock because they are old, they are unproductive or not fit for breeding anymore. Okay? Example, yung dairy cow that no longer produces enough milk, so you remove it, that's culling. Like example, a sow does not reproduce well, so what we do is culling. A chicken that stop laying eggs, we remove them para hindi maapektuhan yung iba. So can they be considered in health conditions for slaughter? Correct answer is yes and no. Why? Yes, if they are still healthy. Even if they are old or culled for productivity reasons, they can still be slaughtered for meat provided they pass the veterinary or meat inspection. So, meat may be tougher kasi nga matanda na sila, less tender, but still safe. Again, favorable yan. No, no if they are sick or weak. Okay? Diniremove mo sila dahil may mga diseases. If animal is culled due to diseases, injury, or poor health, it should not be slaughtered for human food. This is why the Meat Inspection Service checks all animals before slaughter to ensure only substantially healthy animals are used. Naintindihan? Okay. So, one moment ha, sandali lang. Okay, so, hold on guys. Kailangan kasi natin to. Okay pa kayo? Are you still there? Sige nga, gusto ko makita yung mga reaction if you're still there. If you are still listening to me, baka natutulog na kayo. Oo.
Yes, sir.
Marami kayo. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Kumaka yes, sir. Parang nasa army, no? Oh, yan. Again, ha. Ano nga ulit? Oo, masaya talaga ang topic. Oo. Kasi, alam, lumalabas sa exam to eh. Always remember, laging tandaan, iba ang culling. Pag sinabi mong culling, remove yun. Hindi yun kinakatay agad. Slaughter ang katay. Pag sinabi mong culling, ibig sabihin, nire-remove lang siya. Naintindihan? Kasi, lagi ako nagkakaroon ng competition niya. Lagi ako nagkakaroon ng debate. Ay, naiinis na lang ako. Sabi ko, ewan ko lang bakit kayo nag-graduate, hindi mo pala ako maintindihan. Stress ako. Yun. So, guys, okay? Next, we have finish consideration. Finish consideration, lean meat with 8 to 12% appears to the most wanted for intact meat preparations and about 30 to 40% fat for comminuted products. A well-finished animal should have carcass with about 20 to 30% total fat, which is firm and evenly distributed. Okay, so what do you mean by finished consideration? Of course, syempre, alam niyo na yun eh. Pag nag-check na kayo ng oy, alam ko na ito mangyari. Ano kaya mga ano. So, dapat, yung right fat content lang talaga. So, what's the right fat content? 20 to 30% total fat ideal. This is the ideal, ha? 20 to 30% total fat. If you're going to ask me, where did I get the manual? I get it from UPLB. So that's why this one is very exact. The data that provided to you are exact. So that's why you need to keep it with you. Okay? So, ano lang, ang data lang, but the statement itself, hindi naman. Oo. Syempre, kailangan natin i-paraphrase yan. Oo. Oo. So, ano lang, para at least masabi na ano din siya, hindi tayo gagawin. But the data kasi hindi, syempre, kailangan natin ng, of course, substantial. Substantial, yun. Okay, next, we have, okay, so we have management of animals prior to slaughter. So there are 4 management practices given to the animals prior to slaughter. So these are fasting, alam niyo na siguro yan, allowing animals to relax, handling them gently, and keeping them as clean as possible. What do you mean by fasting? Okay. Animals withheld from food but not water. You can give water actually, but not food. Easier to clean intestines and also longer the shelf life. One time, ang ginagawa natin, di ba, pag may birthday, um, before kasi ang lola ko, I miss talaga my lola. She's in heaven right now. So, rest in peace. um, pag birthday ko kasi, lagi niya akong hinahandaan. Oo. Sa lahat ng apo, meron naman siyang apo na pero ako lagi niya akong hinahandaan. Oo, like say, talaga siya, magbuhay siya mag siya ng manok, yung native chicken talaga, magbuhay siya ng magpabuhay siya ng mga manok, ganun. Tapos nagagalit din siya pag may humihingi, ganun. So, yung manok, nakalaan yun siya para sa mga apo niya. Para sa mga apo niya pag may mga birthday. So, let's say, bukas yung birthday ko. Ngayon, fina-fasting na yun ng lola ko. Oh. Nasabi niya, nilalagay niya yung manok sa loob ng kwarto niya. Oo, sa loob ng kwarto niya. Nilalagay niya doon yung manok sa loob ng kwarto niya. Kasi yung kwarto nila, hindi siya like concrete ba? Sa lupa pa rin ba yung parang tang old type lang na may katre lang tapos sa baba lang siya, parang lupa lang. Ganon. So, tapos yung kwarto kasi ng mga matatanda, malapit yan sa kitchen, right? Sa kitchen. Ganon yung ganon yung nila dati. Ganon yung setup ng lola ko. So, doon yun, sabi niya pa, para daw bukas may maihaw, ganun, may makain kami sa birthday ko. Nilalagay niya yung manok. Fina-fasting niya, nilalagay niya sa loob ng bed, ng kwarto. Tapos kinabukasan, ihawin niya na yun. Siya nagpakain, siya nag-alaga, siya mag-ihaw. Ganon. So, tapos yung dugo, nilalagay sa ulo, cross, ganon. Ganon yung lola ko. So I'm so I miss her actually. So may talaga ako sa lola ko, laking lola. So feed is not pag fasting kasi feed is not given to the animals. Pero water binibigyan naman. Amount of water is provided, konti lang. Binibigyan ng po ng water. So simple stomach animals are fasted. Simple stomach. What are those simple stomach? We have the swine, right? So those are simple stomach. So we have the poultry. So simple stomach animals are fasted 12 to 24 hours, where ruminants are fasted 24 to 48 hours. Advantages of fasting include savings of feeds, ease of cleaning entrails, eviscerating carcasses, through blade and brightly colored carcass, long shelf life, and also low shrinkage of resulting meat. The reason why we do fasting, para kasi alam niyo ba, kahit tayo nga pag nagfa-fasting tayo, pag hindi tayo nakakain, siguro na feel niyo rin yan naranasan niyo siguro yan. Kasi ako naranas na ako niya. When I was studying, naranasan ko na po may time talaga sa isang araw hindi ako nakakain. Oo, kasi nga, wala pera, gano'n. Tapos, kinabukasan pa ako makakain. Nagkakaroon ako ng LBM, mga ganyan, na parang lagi ako nasa CR, tapos yung lagi na lang na tubig na lang, laging lumalabas. Kasi lagi ako water, ganun. So, hindi na siya, wala nang mga solid particles. Ganun. So, yun ang nangyayari. Yun ang napapansin ko sa sarili. Sabi ko, ganito pala pag fasting. So, ibig sabihin nililinis yung stomach mo. Oo, nililinis yung stomach. Tapos, yun ko siya nalaman yung nag-attend ako ng fasting sa church. Ang sarap sa feeling pag naka-fasting ka. Oo, sarap sa feeling pag naka-fasting ka. Kasi parang, yung stomach mo, parang nire-rest mo yung stomach mo from working. Ganon. Tapos, ang sarap sa feeling. Magaan siya. Oo, magaan siya. So, masarap sa pag fasting kayo sa church. Yun. Tapos, nandun yung fellowship kayo. Yun. So, yan 12 to 24 hours pag sa simple stomach. And 24 to 48 hours naman pag sa ruminants. Tulad ng baka. Okay? Tapos pag nililis na, yung pag nililis na yung manok, o pag nalinis na yung manok, na yun? Pag kinatay na siya, malinis siya sa loob kasi nga wala kasing kinain kasi mga kinain niya, nilabas niya na lahat. Kasi nga na-fasting siya. Yun. Okay. Next we have relaxed animal. Relax animal yan ha. Bakit kaya ganyan? Hindi naman yan ganyan dun sa ano. Relax animal. No form of stress should be given to the animal prior to slaughter. Ano no form of stress? Hindi mo pinapalaro. Kita mo yun sa picture, yan oh. Ganyan oh, hindi sila nasa-stress. Dapat ganyan na ganyan yung mukha ng animals bago slaughter. Parang aso namin. Si Ellie. Ganyan. If stress cannot be avoided, animals must be given enough time to rest and gain their composure before they are slaughtered. 1 to 3 day relaxation in the holding pen is enough to remove the effects of stress on the animal depending on the degree of stress. Guys, meron din akong oo, chill lang kasi ilang day na lang. Example ganito, ito na-experience ko lang talaga to sa farm kasi naging manager ako sa farm ng ilang araw lang. Meron kaming paparating freight in na mga ready to slaughtered na 45 days. Oo. Ready to slaughtered na 45 days from Cotabato. From Cotabato. Tapos ang ginawa namin, hindi pa siya namin sinlaughtered. 2 to 3 days namin sila pinarelax. Oo, 1 to 2 days relax. Tapos yung pangatlong araw, fasting yun. Yun ang ginawa namin. Tapos, slaughtered na kinabukasan. Oo. Ganun lang. Ganun yun siya yung ginagawa namin. Baka lumabas sa board exam. Tapos situation na lang. Parang, yun. Example lang, pag ganun lumabas. May ganun nangyari sa namin. Sa time namin before. So, relaxation, it rests the animals to reduce the stress. Stress peaks, produce pale, soft, watery, and meat. Pag stress. So, the disadvantage of stress, anong disadvantage ng stress include loss of muscle glycogen, high temperature of carcass, and low water holding binding capacity of resulting meat. Low aroma, flavor, texture, and juiciness scores. If the stress given to the animal is not very severe, pork tends to be pale. Maano siya? Maputla. Okay? Soft and exudative. Lumalabas ito sa for exam. Si PSE tsaka si DED. If the stress given is very severe, blood clots in meat tends to be dry, firm, and dark. Pag hindi daw severe, pag hindi naman daw severe yung stress. Okay? Pag hindi naman daw masyadong stressed yung ang isang hayop bago slaughter, magkakaroon lang po siya ng PSE. Ibig sabihin, pale, soft, and exudative. Pero pag sobrang stress given is very severe, magkakaroon siya ng blood clots in meat, nagiging dry, firm, and dark. So, pale, soft, pag not very severe. Severe pa rin siya, but not very severe. This one and DED is what we call very severe. This one is dry. Sorry siya. Dry. Wait lang daw. DED ba yan or DFD? DFD yata yan eh. DFD yan guys. DFD. That is dry, firm, and dark. Dry, firm, and dark. F yan ha. DF. Siya ko, bakit, wala naman ako nakita ang dead. Basta DFD yan. Dry, firm, and dark. Pag sobrang stress. Eto kaya, pag kinatay itong nasa picture, ano kayo magiging na? PSE yan. PSE. Oo. Pale, soft, and exudative. Kasi chill lang, katay ka na bukas, ganun. Okay. Next, we have handling animal gently. Killing me softly with this song. Ganun. So, handling animal gently. The part of animal whipped, kick, or backs prior to slaughter develops blood clots, red spots in the meat. These blood clots are due to the breaking of some blood vessels in those areas. Blood clots in meat are support for luxuriant growth of microorganisms and causes accelerated meat spoilage. So what do you mean by this? Handle it with care. Mm-mm. Gentle handling avoids blood clots and bruises. Mm-mm. What do you mean by bruises? Process. Ano sabi dito? Gentle handling avoid blood clots and bruises. What do you mean by bruises? Pag sinabing bruises, ibig sabihin clotted blood. Avoid dark, red, purple, or black spot. Ganun. Okay? Avoid injury. Yun. Bruises. Okay, next. Laban pa tayo, ha? Malapit na tayo matapos. Okay. Laban lang. Okay, next we have management of animals prior to slaughter. Again, clean animal. Clean. Good sanitation practice is best started by keeping the animal clean. One of worst contaminants of meat is the microflora abundant in feces. Sa tae. Oo. Sa tae yan. So again, dirty animals contaminate carcass. Again, bigyan nga pag kumakatay tayo ng manok, tapos nga, tinatanggal natin yung internal parts niya. Yung internal parts tinatanggal na natin, right? So, what do you call that internal parts, by the way? If you can still remember the technical terms. In evisceration, in eviscerating it, what do you call that internal parts of the animals? Hi, very good man yan. Oh, fall. Very good. Pwede na talaga kayo mag-take ng board exam. Kakalula. Very good. That's offal. Salang sir. Okay. So, offal yon tawag. Di ba pag tinatanggal natin yung offal dun sa poultry, dun sa broiler, sa chicken, hinay-hinay natin. Di ba nga, sabi natin, huwag nyo, dapat hindi yan mawasak, ganon-ganon sa loob. Kasi pag mawasak yung contaminated na yun, kasi nga andun yung dumi. Right? Oo. So, wag natin yun sa bibiglain. O, hindi kasi dapat binibigla. Hinay-hinay lang, tanggalin, tapos alisin sa ano. So, dinadaan siya saan dinadaan? Sa puwit siya nilalabas. Oo, yun. So, ibig sabihin, useful talaga ang puwit. Anus. Oo. Yun. Okay, next. Si Jomari tumatawa. Magdi-date yan kami pag magkita kami. Yun. Next, we have basic requirements in slaughtering animals. So, what are those basic requirements? Konti na lang talaga slides natin. Ibibigay ko din man sa inyo to. What are the basic requirements in slaughtering? Basic factors to consider in slaughtering. There are 4 basic factors to consider in slaughtering animals. Cleanliness of meat produced, hygiene of production, efficiency of meat inspection, adequacy of meat preservation. Ulitin lang natin yan when we already meet, pag meat processing na tayo. Okay? So, the slaughterhouse to be considered adequate for slaughtering must meet the minimum standards set by the National Meat Inspection Commission. Dapat ma-meet niya yung standard ng NMIS or NIC. Some of the prerequisite of a slaughterhouse to be accredited are the following. First, there must be complete facilities for the proper care of the animals prior to slaughter. Dapat kompleto. Meron silang leisure areas and holding pens. Must be wide enough to allow relaxation of animals to be slaughtered. Adequate ventilation and water must be provided at all times. Malayo din yan dapat sa mga bahay-bahay. Oo, malayo sa mga bahay. Let's say, pag merong factory sa loob, be sure that ang factory is parang nasa loob lang talaga yung baho, hindi na lumalabas. Yun. Dapat meron siyang holding pens at saka lairage areas, ventilation, water supply, Yun, separate slaughter rooms, yung swine, iba yung swine. Again guys ha, tinanong ito sa board exam talaga. Oo. Ano ba daw, pwede ba daw katayin ang beef kung saan kinatay ang swine? No! It's absolutely no. No, it's a no, 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 no. Dapat separated ang room ng swine at saka ng ano, ruminants. Magkaiba yun. Yung mga simple stomach, magkasama yun sila kung saan sila pwedeng ikatay. Yung mga ruminants, magkaiba yun sila. They have separated slaughter rooms. Naintindihan? Oo, magkaiba yun. Basta, charot. Basta, I mean, magkaiba. It's a big no. Kasi lumabas yun sa board exam. So, just para hindi nyo makalimutan. Okay? Now, next, we have the slaughterhouse again. The slaughterhouse, what are the another reason? The slaughterhouse should have separate rooms for the slaughter of swine and ruminants. Again, sinabi ko na, for sanitary reasons. And to avoid contamination of carcass. Kasi magkaiba sila, simple stomach ruminants. Bakit mo pinasama? Hindi magkaiba yun. Dapat separated ang room nila. A separate area for handling meat and offal must be provided, and there must be separate equipments and implements for handling meat and byproducts. Facilities for hanging carcasses, refrigeration units, and adequate water supply must be provided. The NMIC requires at least 60 gallons. O ito ha, per head na ito. Lumabas ito sa board exam. Ano to? Ilang gallons nga. Meron, parang binigay ko ito sa notes ninyo guys. Pero i-take note nyo na lang. Ilang gallons nga? 60 gallons per head, cattle and carabao. So, cattle, and carabao. Ilang gallons ang kailangan nila? 60 gallons. Okay. For hog naman, it's 30 gallons. So, half. And for goat naman is 15 gallons. So, half. And for poultry, half lang pala to guys. Puro half. Poultry, had available water. Poultry is 7 gallons. O, yan. 60, 30, 15, 7. So, isipin nyo na lang yung pinakamalaki na lang. Ito na lang ang tandaan ninyo lagi, ang cattle, 60 gallons. Kasi pag tinanong yung hog, half lang ng cattle. Half lang ng 60, half ng 30, ganun. So, yun na lang, para hindi nyo mawala sa isipan nyo. Lumalabas ito sa board exam. Okay, ang tinanong sa amin doon is hog. Swine ang term na ginamit. Okay? At alam nyo na. Next, we have the slaughterhouse must have good drainage and ventilation. Must be at least 100 meters away from the residential houses. Lumabas ito sa board exam din. Ilang metros ang kalayo ng slaughterhouse from residential houses? 100 meters. Okay? And must have adequate pollution control device. It should not locate along the highway, must be accessible to transportation. Again ha, 100 meters away from the residential houses. Naintindihan? Okay. Now, let's go ahead and okay, this will be the last slide if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is the last slide, sorry. So, classification of slaughterhouses in the Philippines. The slaughterhouses in the Philippines are presently classified by the National Meat Inspection Commission into 4 categories, namely AAA. Lumalabas sa board exam na makinig. AAA, those with facilities and operational procedures so adequate that the meat process herein eligible for sale in market and in out of the country. Meaning pag in out of the country can be exported internationally. International. Pag AA, those with facilities and operational procedures sufficiently adequate that the meat process here ineligible for sale in any market in the Philippines only. Meaning, national. Sa Pilipinas lamang. Single A, those with facilities and operational procedures of minimum adequacy as defined by the National Meat Inspection Commission. The meat processed are eligible for sale only in the city or municipality which the plant is located. So this one can only sell on the city, municipality, or sa syudad lang natin talaga. Yan. Non-accredited, those with facilities and operational procedures of less than minimum standards that must be closed until minimum standards are provided or achieved. This also includes slaughterhouse which do not get accreditation even if they are qualified for it. So, non-accredited must be closed until standards are met. Ito yung mga non-accredited, mga sa bahay, mga home consumption lang. Yan. Naintindihan? Ano nga ulit? Pag AAA, international. Pag AA, national or nationwide. Pag A lang, single A lang, municipality or city. Pag non-accredited, i-close na siya until minimum standards are provided or achieved. Ganyan lang. Pag-take note lang. Nagets ninyo? Sa board exam, ibahin to ang tanong. Ibahin niya yung definition. Iniiba yan ng board examiner. Pinapahirapan kayo, pinapa-analyze nila yan. Iba nila yung definition. Pero yung thought, tinitest nila yung understanding mo. Yung comprehension mo, tinitest nila yan. Oo. So, take note about it. Kasi minsan ilalabas nila may mga word na yun sa isang sentence, sa isang question na nakalagay. International, national, tapos may mga municipality, blah, blah, blah. Basahin mo yung panghuli. Oo. Andun yung sagot. Yun. May mga ganyan yan sila, mga eme muna. Tapos bago nila na yun ang sagot. Sabihin na nila, example, sabihin nila doon, the slaughterhouses in the Philippines are presently classified by the National Meat Inspection Commission into international, national, municipality or city categories. And then, which of the following, ganun na yun ang tanong na yan. Oo. Which of the following is considered as the international, can be sold out internationally. Mga ganun. So, basahin mabuti ang tanong. Okay? Intindihan? So, we are done with our presentation tonight. Thank you very much for your attention, everyone. And tomorrow, another na naman. Meat processing na tayo tomorrow, guys. Thank you very much. Do you guys nag-enjoy ba kayo? Marami ba kayo natutunan? Hopefully, marami kayo natutunan, guys. Tomorrow is another day. Yeah. Hi. Hopefully, marami kayo natutunan tonight. And, yeah. Kahit ako nga, ang dami ko natutunan, actually. By the way, sisend ko pala sa inyo ang ating slides. Hold on. Thank you very much, everyone. Guys, do you have a question before we left? Before we take apart chart, May mga tanong kayo? Wala? Okay. So, kung wala na kayong mga tanong, guys, yeah, pwede na po tayo mag-exit. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a good night. Good night. Sweet dreams. Ayan, nasend na po sa GC ang slides. Bye-bye. Sweet dreams, get a beautiful nightmare.